All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. You know what's really crazy right now is I'm staring at my notes here for the video. Week 51. That means we'll probably maybe sneak in one more video, one more update before 2024 is officially in the books. And that's wild. So 2025 is definitely on the horizon for everybody. Pretty sure. I mean, we just had Ironman World Champs this past weekend, and I think that's really it for the year, right? Ain't much left we can do a race wise. So that's everybody is gotten it done this year, and congratulations to everybody. Whether you hit your goals or had some step backs throughout the year, I promise you, if you get started off on the right swing of things, 2025 will be an awesome year for everybody. Still cranking along, monthly challenge 30 30 30. We're just, moving that body every day. A few of you have continued to keep doing that. I think this is pretty cool to have some type of group monthly challenge if people want to get in on it going forward. It will change it up month to month, so more on that. Quick few notes, things I've written down over the past couple weeks is there's some new features on like some of the Garmin watches in that. It's auto detect for threshold and stuff. So if you have like a hard ride or a hard run or get you some metrics on there, it's going to say, do you want to update your settings, your threshold values, your zones, and things like that. Just remember, if we're doing the one-on-one coaching, we don't want to ever automatically change zones and threshold, because what happens sometimes is if there is some inaccurate data in the file, or say you ran on a treadmill versus outside and it's not calibrated properly for distance, it's going to think that you're running this really fast pace versus what your heart rate usually is, and it's going to detect that maybe something's different and your zones are going to be changed. We like to do field testing, and that's how we go about setting our zones, and we like to do it in a controlled manner so that we're getting accurate data. So that's something we want to keep an eye on, and definitely make sure that we're not doing it automatically. And that could even be through through Zwift on some type of hardware. They may say like, hey, your FTP may have increased. If we're in testing and you're kind of an experienced athlete, like you're not new to the platform, just reach out, let me know that it's telling you something along those lines, and I'll do some research on the data side of it through your Training Peaks, and we'll be able to find out what's going on. Or maybe it's test time, maybe you are getting stronger and fitter, and we'll do a controlled test to see if we can get some new values for that. And side note on Training Peaks is you might have seen the Training Peaks Virtual, the cycling platform, pop out. I was testing it for a little while. It's a pretty cool platform. I was able to sit in on a webinar this past week with the creators and founders of it and get some more information on it. I did have a question that I did pose out there in the group chat, and they weren't so quick to want to answer it right away. Probably because I know why, but one of the biggest holdups on platforms like this and all the other cycling platforms out there is the seamless integration with Garmin Connect. Now, for myself, why this is important to me is that I do wear my Garmin watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as much as I can. Wear it, log all my runs on it. If I'm on Zwift, it'll automatically sync stuff over to Garmin Connect. And basically, why that's important to me is I use it for a lot of the recovery metrics, and I use it for training stress score and load, because I also track my recovery. So based on my sleep, my HRV, my resting heart rate, I track all these things versus how I feel and for my workouts. So for me, it's very important to have it all seamlessly integrate. And the problem is Garmin Connect is not allowing new connections with new platforms. And there's only a few platforms out there for cycling that seamlessly integrate for it. So on Zwift, if you go on Zwift, everything is right there. It's on the platform. It will automatically sync when your accounts are linked to Training Peaks when you're done, Strava, Garmin Connect, and all that, and everything plays nice. You only have to log it on the device itself, whether you're using a PC, a laptop, Apple TV, whatever it is. It's linked, goes to your account, and that's all good. Difference is here and some of the other platforms is they recommend that you can take the fit file when you're done and drop it into your Garmin Connect, and it will load, yes, some of the information for that workout, but what it doesn't do when you manually load things is account for that actual stress score, which is native to Garmin Connect. So even though it'll say you rode for an hour or 20 miles, if you do that, it's not going to read it as a stress score. Therefore, it's going to change your recovery metrics. It's not going to think you worked out for the day, and all this other stuff. So if you like the way your Garmin reads data recovery wise and you follow things in that, then it may not be the platform for you right now. I asked if this was going to be a future update or possibility, and they kind of weren't really interested in talking about it. It's funny though, because in the game it actually has a drop down for Garmin Connect and says not available yet. So, I mean, in the future of things, who knows? But unfortunately, I'm probably going to be sticking with Zwift for a little while as the new year turns, just because the only other way around it is if you log an indoor cycle with your watch, but again, then the distance and the metrics don't stay the same. They're not proper to what you're actually doing on the platform. And it's just, for me, I like consistent data. I'll leave it at that. And I like things that are super streamlined. I don't want to be dragging, dropping, and logging things on multiple devices. That's not me. I don't want to stress about a workout not showing up in a platform and ruining all my metrics for the week or the month or things like that. So for now, it's cool. If you don't care about that, Training Peaks Virtual is an awesome option because it's going to be free for premium members after the testing is done in March. So you should be able to use it for free right now up until then and through then if you're a premium member on Training Peaks. Another thing I wrote down was, what are we doing this off season? What do we got going on? We talk about fitness versus performance ability. So right now you have fitness. You're training, you're doing things, you're staying fit. You have the fitness. Now you may not have the performance ability to go hit an A race right now, a 70.3 half marathon or whatever it is. But when we start to build and cycle into those weeks leading up to those races, that's when we're training our performance ability. We're training up to perform for that one day event. Right now, we're staying fit. We're staying with fitness. We're staying with a healthy overall balance. So don't worry about if you don't feel with the ability to have performance right now. Because some people are like, I just don't feel as fit as I was. Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel as fit as you were when you were going into your A race or peaking for your A race. You still have fitness, but yes, your performance ability to perform, say on race day in a week or two, is not there because we're not training to perform on a certain day. We're just training for fitness right now. So just remember, endurance is a very big mental game. You have to understand where you are in the journey and the year and understand what your goals are for that month, for that block or training, and just understand if you're doing the things right, you're eating right, you're training right, you're staying fit, you're doing good. Trust me, you're doing a lot better than a big bulk of the people out there, or people that just take off for months at a time and then get back into it when the weather changes. And that also leads into the goal setting. That should be something that you should be in the forefront of your head for next year, is just have a direction. Now, you don't have to lock it down, but for like triathletes, just determine do you want to train for possibly an Ironman this year? Or just stick with a 70.3 distance, or do local races, sprints and Olympics? How many of these races do you want to do? And then we can determine how far spread out these need to be. Then we can look at the calendar, what time of year you want to do these races, find a race that'll be sufficient for the goals that you're looking for. And as well, runners. Do you want to run a marathon this year? At what point of the year? Then we'll find that marathon. Then maybe we'll find a half marathon leading into that fits your plan at the right time. So instead of just throwing darts at the wall and seeing what everyone's doing, or just grabbing races left and right of whatever your friends are doing, plan it, think about it a little bit ahead of time, and you can definitely line your year up good, a lot better than maybe you have in years past, so that your races can support each other. You can still have fun, but then again, you're doing it safely and doing it with those SMART goals in mind. And then I guess last thing for the week is just something funny. Side note for things is I get random texts from just a lot of people about endurance and stuff, training partners and things like that, or just people that follow me that I stay in touch with and things like that. And I think it's funny, and I guess it's a different mentality now, being not just training and racing as like an athlete, but also now as a coach, is just when people ask about, I understand it when I was an athlete, I guess. I would follow the pros races. I would follow the big races, Ironman, and now then you have the T100 series now, and just following and being I guess motivated by these pros. And I still am motivated by them, but as a coach now, I'm motivated by everybody I help. So it's funny when someone is talking to me about the pro race, and I'm like, honestly, I didn't watch it. I mean, they're like, what do you mean you didn't watch it? I'm like, well, because I'm watching my athletes all week. That's y'all my pros, I'm invested more in understanding and watching the miles and metrics that all of you are putting in than I would care about the pros, which leads me to why I don't watch professional sports. I don't have, not that I don't have the time. I spend my time elsewhere as a coach, coaching my own team, basically, my own athletes and their own goals individually and as a collective unit. So it's pretty funny, like just seeing how people can be so invested in like fantasy football and know every stat and every yardage and everything that these players have done. And that's cool. I'm not taking anything away from that if that's your hobby, but it's just that's just not me. I'd rather y'all my fantasy team, basically fantasy endurance sports, basically is I can know what your 5K times are, your 10K times, your half marathon times, whatever it is, your 70.3 times, what you're capable of, what your threshold values are, what your easy heart rate value should be if I'm just looking at one of your workouts there. So it's just funny, looking at it through my eyes is just, that's my roster of people that I look at, that I care about every week in and week out, and the progress of them. And I'm motivated by you, and hopefully, we reciprocate and you're motivated by me as well. Aside for myself, I want to add in a little more about myself and my training going forward for 2025. Just completed the Backyard Ultra. Promised myself, and I'll hold myself accountable here. That's why I'm putting it out there, that I will not run for 7 days. I feel good, better than I thought, actually. And I'm just looking for awesome active recovery this week. I can't remember the last time I didn't run for like a 7-day period. So this is going to be a good recovery. This is what I was hoping to finish and check the box. And then a couple runs next week. We have the fun group 20 miler on the 28th, December 28th, Cross Island 20 miler. We're going south to north, the Greenbelt Trail in Nassau County. So that's going to be awesome. And we'll see you out there if you're coming along for the journey. And then by that time, I'll release some of the goals and races for 2025 because I started printing some information out. I am motivated to figure out next year and everything that I want to accomplish. And, we'll take it from there. So everybody, for now, stay safe, stay healthy, keep balancing that life 1 mile at a time. There's so much coming in the next few weeks. I can't wait to hit the ground running in 2025. I'm psyched, I'm pumped, I'm motivated, and I hope you're coming along for the ride. So get after it. Let's finish this year strong. Let's finish getting some miles and smiles out there, and stay warm because I know it's crappy out, but it's all good. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you soon. Take it easy.